everybody. Welcome to another week of Let's Talk. I am your host, author Dre Lett. This is the show where we inform, inspire, and motivate. We get you going during these tough times and beyond. So come on in the room and have a seat so we can let's talk. Each week, you guys can view my show on Facebook Live on Friday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from Atlanta, Georgia. Or you can go back and I'm getting tongue tied. Or you can go back and view all the recorded shows previously, also on my Facebook page, which is Let's Talk with Author Dre Lett. You can view it on YouTube as well. So I'm super excited you guys are here again for another fun-filled week. So tonight is what I call Relationship Friday. Yes, indeed. Oh, I'm so excited. I love Relationship Fridays. Yes, relationship counselor and author Kimberly McCants is here to talk about tonight's topic will be the war between us, no survivors. Oh, you know it's going to be juicy. I cannot wait. This young lady, she brings it. She brings it and she's so real. She's so real about relationships. So her segment is going to take a deep dive look into why men and women struggle within their relationships with one another. And she'll be on in a few minutes. So super excited to have her come on the show again. Whenever it's her time to come on, I just get so excited because you learn something new. I'm coming up on 10 years of marriage, happily married. But you always learn something new, and she just brings it. She does, you guys. She really does. So in what's hot news? Oh my gosh, there's so much in what's hot news, y'all. I had to filter through what do I share, what do I talk about. But one of the most important things I think in what's hot news right now is basically, the FBI has charged four current former Louisville police officers, Louisville, Kentucky, who were involved in killing Breonna Taylor during a no-knock raid. Yes, federal authorities basically said this the other day. The news comes a little over 2 years after her death, which occurred back in March of 2020. Reports that former LMPD detectives are facing federal civil rights charges following a lengthy investigation into this 26-year-old EMT's death after she was fatally shot by LMPD officers during a search warrant at her apartment. So sad. Police officers are executed the search warrant, which the Department of Justice said was filled with falsified information. And so basically, because they lied on this information, they entered her home and they said that it was regarding her ex-boyfriend, a suspected drug dealer. And as you all know, the rest, she was killed. So sad. You know what? I really hope and pray that justice is served, that they get everything coming to them. It's just terrible. I understand, we got a lot of good police officers out there and there's some bad. And I think if you're going to lie and you're going to do something like that, that's going to cost somebody their life, and you should be brought up on charges and you should share a jail cell with other criminals. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. It's crazy. You guys tell me in the comments section what your thoughts are. And in other what's hot topic news, I just cringe at this topic, you guys. Anybody that personally know me know I am a germaphobe. Ooh, monkeypox. Just thinking about it, I want to scratch, right? And it's not funny. It really is not funny. I'm laughing at myself because it gives me the EBGBs. So monkeypox, for those of you that don't know, monkeypox is an infectious viral disease that can occur in humans and some other animals. Symptoms include fever, swollen lymph nodes, and a rash that forms blisters and then crust over. So basically, the time from exposure to onset of symptoms can range from 5 to 21 days. So, like COVID now, if you get COVID, if you were exposed to COVID, you'll know in a couple of days. If you have it, monkeypox, it can sit in your system and you don't even know you have it from 5 to 21 days. Oh, my goodness. So according to the CDC, they said how to prevent monkeypox is by having safer sex. It's not a STD, but they still said having safer sex because it's fluid exchange and skin on skin contact, right? Somebody could just touch you if they're infected and you can get it. They also said be careful to be in large social gatherings, kind of limit that. And also when you're in spaces or situations where monkeypox could be spread. Before I came on live, I was listening to the world news, and sadly, a daycare worker in Illinois, they were infected, and now they got to go test all the little babies at the daycare because they don't know if they infected the children. And so you guys just be careful out there. Make sure that if you're in a setting that you're not certain, wear gloves or wear long sleeve shirt, or just be careful, because now we got something added to the plate. We had COVID, now we got monkeypox. So y'all be careful, please be careful. And so before I go to a quick message from our sponsor, we have a new sponsor, so excited about that. You guys make sure you check in and give me a shout out where you're checking in from, the city, so I can give you a shout out and make sure that you are representing your city. I appreciate you tuning in, my faithful viewers. And before we go to the quick break, I want to let you guys know, if you are ever interested, if you're watching this pre-recorded or live, if you're ever interested in becoming a sponsor, reach out to the team and we'll get back with you. It could be something as simple as I just give a shout out, hold up your product in my hand, or we could help you with an ad, or if you already have an ad, make what have you, reach out to us, because coming this fall, if all goes well, you guys, I'm going on my streaming network. I'm so excited. I can't get into the details because we're still doing the contracts and all that good stuff. But going on the streaming network, and I'm taking my sponsors with me, my viewers, everything. So I'm super excited this fall if all goes out and if it all works out. So reach out to us if you want to be a sponsor, okay? Okay, so with that being said, let me go ahead and share a quick message from our sponsors, and we will be right back. from our sponsor. As you guys saw, we have a new sponsor. Super excited about that. You guys check them out and support. Okay, so let's see who's checking in with the Let's Talk fam. All right, one of the producers, Hubby, watching from the man cave. Hey, cuz, watching from Vegas. I love my faithful viewers. Oh my gosh, I love you guys so much. You guys are always there with me every week, and I love you. Mwah. Love you guys. Richard is checking in. Hey, checking in from Detroit. Vera, hey girl. I believe she's in Atlanta. Vera be traveling, y'all. That's my girl. I love her. My baby girl. She's she's now part of the managerial staff, you guys. Big things coming from her as my PR and my manager. Hey, love you, baby girl. Mommy in love from Vegas. Mwah, she's checking in. Sis, town business. Hey, lady, how are you? Carla, what's up, girl? I missed you. How you been? She said she's just not getting off from work. She's checking in from Atlanta. And let's see here. Oh, I forgot to mention, sis is checking in from the Bay. So you guys, thank you so much. And I see quite a few of you watching as well. If you guys don't want to tell me where you're checking in, it's okay. It's okay. It's all good. I appreciate your love and support for watching. Definitely for watching. Okay, you guys. So, yeah. So we're gonna go into our relationship stuff. You guys get ready, get your pens and paper ready, take lots of notes. This lady brings the fire. She's real. Also, make sure you guys ask the questions in the comment section so that she can get to you. And I specifically gave this entire show to her because the last couple times she's had small segments. I'm like, we gotta give you the whole thing because she's all that in a bag of chips. So let me go ahead and put up her slides. And those of you who are faithful viewers, you guys know Kimberly McCants, relationship counselor and author. Like I said, she is thebomb.com. So without further ado, you guys help me welcome to the virtual stage Miss Kimberly McCants. Hey, lady.
Hey.
How are you? Wait a minute. Are you dressed? Do I see a?
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Wait.
Now, if you'd have called me 30 minutes ago, that'd have been a different question. But yes, ma'am.
How are you? Thank you for coming back.
I am well. Thank you.
I love it when you come on. I'll be like, oh my God, it's gonna be juicy.
I appreciate you so much. I love your platform, honey. And I wish you the best with everything you got going on. Absolutely.
You going with me now. You coming with me.
And I appreciate it. I'm grateful for sure.
Definitely. Well, I am going to turn it over to you. I'm just going to be over here. My pen and paper taking notes because
okay.
Now, I'm happily married, but we all can learn something, right? So
absolutely. And I definitely encourage people to ask questions. I'm basing this one on a show that previously, my own recordings and videos that I've done dealing with the topic, and it's coming from a video that I made over 5 years ago on YouTube. It's a quick little 10-minute video, and it's called The Black Man's Enemy, and then it says The Black Woman.
Ooh.
So it's posed as more of a question, but it has been getting a lot of responses lately, so it's apparently necessary for me to address it. A lot of what I'm hearing is that Black women in particular are adversarial, if you will, toward Black men. This is how they're responding, that we don't support them, that we have traded on, we've traded them, we've gone outside of our own, basically we've stabbed them in the back. I've heard it be called treason, all kind of things that are happening. And I'm just listening, and it hurts. You know what I'm saying? So I've had to detach my personal feelings from what's being said and just really listen. And the majority of what they're saying is really coming from personal experiences with the women that they've had. So because of that, it's showing me that there's a necessity to address a lot of issues that we have, and to address the healing that is necessary to occur on both ends. Because what is not happening is that we're not able to communicate what we're feeling. And a lot of what we're feeling, we're not able to communicate where it's coming from. We don't even know what that is. We're just responding to it. It's there, go with it. We don't know where it's coming from. And a lot of that, where it's anger or confusion, is not necessarily because of something that's happening right now. So I'm going to get into that as well. Because as we've talked about before, trauma, if it is not taken care of, if it is not healed, it passes along generationally. It has a karmic cycle. If you don't heal from it and address it and nip it and dig it out the soil and retill soil, it will continue to grow. And the person who is suffering from it has no idea that they are actually the carrier of the trauma. So they see it as, well, every time I get into a relationship, this person does this, or these types of people, do this. They respond to me this way all the time. So they're the enemy. That's not necessarily the case, because you can be your own enemy and not know it. So it's about, the knowing thyself. We talked about the representative, how we all have one until you've learned to acknowledge it and address it. And it's a fight. It's a daily fight. But you have to recognize that there is an entity, there is a being that knows you, that pretends to be you, that shows itself as you, that speaks on your behalf, that wears your clothes, that interacts with your friends, that's in your relationships, and says this is, they take on your name, but it's not your true spirit being. It is a representative. I refer to her for females as the misrepresentative. That's what it is. And until we have, again, acknowledged and healed from that, we'll continue to carry on these traumas and then look at other people as the reason for the current trauma when it's been a continuous one. So I have a little list. I try to condense it. A little list, just to a couple reasons as to why our relationships are the way they are, why there is such a battle, even what is war, period. So one of the reasons, obviously, and we all know, is always a communication barrier. One of those issues is that mostly, I'll say, the masculine tends to think from a logical mind. They're processing every little thing that makes sense. So it's not a whole lot of tools. There's not a whole lot that needs to go in it. What makes sense, apply that, period. The feminine tends to process and speak from the emotional. So with the emotional comes a lot of words, a lot of feelings, a lot of confusion, a lot of pointing fingers, being honest, a lot of blame goes out from the emotional. So when a masculine says something that is straight to the point, oftentimes the feminine will hear it from how she feels about how it sounds, not what's being said, but how those words made her feel. So she missed the information, she'll miss the facts, the logic, the ABC of it all, because everything else through Z is what she's dealing with. That's what she's processing. So there has to be a balance in how we communicate. It has to be a balance in how I hear you, how you hear me, how I communicate to you, how you receive the information, and vice versa. We have to learn how to communicate from a factual and informational point. The more you speak to a person from your feelings, the more drama you're going to create. Because there's no foundation in it. There's no stability in it. Feelings are feelings are emotions. Emotions is energy in motion. It's continuously moving, which means it's also going to continuously change based on the circumstances. So you can't really trust them alone because they change, depending on what's going on. They're going to change. Like I said, today you're with your person, and you love them to pieces, and they're the greatest everything. You're happy with them because they're doing something for you or with you or to you, or on your behalf, whatever. They're giving you something. Oh, I'm in love, I love him or her, blah blah blah. And then next week you're arguing because they got the biggest piece of chicken, and now you can't stand them. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I make it funny, but you know what I'm saying? They change based on the circumstances. So if you take out the right now, how I feel right now, and remember why you even entered into a relationship with this person. What were the facts about this person? If those facts still remain relevant, if those facts are still facts, then that's what you hold on to. That is what you build on. That will remain constant. Not to say that you can't have feelings, because you're going to. That's, human. You're going to have feelings, but not to allow them to dictate how you operate in your relationship. So along with that, I said, as far as my book is concerned, we talk about the different structures, the business structures of relationships. People have to get an understanding that every relationship has some type of business structure. If you are an individual and you're single and you've been that way, you count on you. You are responsible for you. You do for you. Whatever loss you take, it's yours. Whatever gain you receive, it's yours. You operate as a sole proprietor. That means it's just you. And that's fine until you decide to get into a relationship with someone else. Now, when you make that decision, the sole proprietor business structure has to now change in order to be conducive with a partnership, because you can't go into a partnership with the same mind as a sole proprietor, because they don't go together. They can't work together. They have two different goals. They move differently. Their purpose is different, if you will. So it's important to know, if you are a sole proprietor, if that's what you want to be that. But if you want to be in a relationship with somebody, one other person, it's a partnership. That means you and this other person must give 100% on both ends, not 50-50, 100, 100, for both people to have 100. It has to work that way. And speaking in a business, using business lingo, if you will, if you understand business in any way or any type of contract, there are no stipulations that say, if you feel some type of way during this contract period, then you have a right to get out of it. There's never a feelings clause in a business contract. But what we tend to do, because we have feelings and we'll process from emotions, is we'll add that, we'll sneak that little clause in there and say, well, because I now feel a certain way about what you did or said or didn't do, I want out. I don't want to be in this contract anymore. I want a divorce. I don't want to be with you anymore. I'm no longer in love with you. Okay. And the contract says this. You know what I'm saying? We don't take our contracts, we don't take them seriously.
Yeah.
It's made so easy for us to just sign the papers, get a divorce, or just walk away, or just cheat, whatever. It's made so easy for us to do that we don't put in the work. We don't take it serious. We don't take the I do's and the reason why I do's seriously enough. We're looking for reasons or ways to get out. We're always looking for loopholes to get out of the relationship or to get out of the contract, instead of living the contract. You sign on the dotted line because you have made I would assume, a conscious decision that this is what you're going to do. This is what you want. There is an agreement between the two people. There is no disagreement in an agreement. Hence it being an agreement. You have time before you get to that point to discuss all of the aspects of your potential contract. You have time to do that. If there's something that's coming up that you don't like or that needs to be adjusted in any way, fix that before you sign the contract.
Wow.
Period. We gotta do a little bit more thinking and a lot more patience. That's another thing. We're so impatient. Get in, get out. People getting married, we'll use celebrities. They'll getting married, have these big elaborate weddings, and then 5 months later, they're getting divorced. Why did you even bother? What was the point? I mean, was it just strictly publicity's sake? Perhaps you could have just said we're going together, and now we're not. Instead of putting a whole union in that relationship, that contract, in people's faces in that way to make it look like, well, divorce, we can just do that. It's no big deal. Enough of that. Enough of that. Another part is, as we are emotional listeners. So we are listening for ways and reasons to say something. We're listening for a way to justify how we feel. We'll listen for a way to catch somebody in a loophole, or to find fault with somebody else. We're looking for that. Yeah, okay, well, yesterday you said you like peanut butter and jelly, but now you're saying you like jelly and peanut butter? I want out. You know what I'm saying? You lying. You know what I'm saying? I'm making funny, but you understand, what I'm saying. We're doing too much of stuff that's just, it's ridiculous, first of all. It's ridiculous. And I like to always say this is my quote, that feelings falsify facts. Feelings falsify facts. Every time. You can take any relationship, any conversation with anybody you've ever had at any time, and look at where you were emotionally involved, where there was an emotional exchange between you and the other person, or them toward you, or both at the same time. I guarantee something was not heard. I guarantee there was some misinformation or some missed information. Wow. Guarantee. So those are a couple things. Another one is that we have been taught to be competitive instead of working with one another. So I wrote it as competition versus reparation. Reparation being repair the nation instead of competing it within it. Repair it. There's no reason why a couple should look at each other as competition. There's no reason why we should look at our men as competition. There's no reason they should look at us as competition. How can we compete with one another when we're running for the same purpose? We're fighting against the same thing. We need the same thing. How can you compete against me? How can I compete against you? Why would I? That eliminates us from each other. It doesn't build us. It puts us at odds. That means if you're competing against me, that now makes you my enemy, because you're trying to get something that I want, and vice versa. How can I look at you and call you my enemy? Why is it that we've gotten to a point where we no longer see each other as a reflection of ourselves? This is a problem. This is why people are able to say they're our enemy. She's my enemy. He's my enemy, because we don't see ourselves within ourselves. We're competing. What we're competing for is pretty much the same thing, though. We just need to understand that we don't need to compete with each other to get it. We both want to be heard. We both want to be appreciated. We both want to feel and know what love is. We both want to be respected. We both want to be provided for. We both want to feel secure and be supported. We both want these things. We both want to grow and elevate together. We want some stability. We want these. These are similarities. These are the things that we both want. So how are we competing against each other to get it?
That's deep.
It's never going to happen because it has now become a tug of war for the same thing. We want the same thing, but we're going to fight each other to get it. How are we going to get it?
Right.
If I want something from you, if I need something from you, the best way, the easiest way for me to get it is to let you know I need that. You let me know you need this. Okay, so I have what you need. You have something that I need. Let's just exchange that. Let's use these things together. Let me feed you. Let me pour into your cup so it's never empty. Let me pour back into your cup so it's never empty. We don't have to be thirsty ever. We don't have to be hungry ever. We don't have to be at war ever. We don't have to disagree really ever, unless we just playing. We don't have to. You know what I'm saying? But we're not doing the work. We're so consumed by what we've been taught, by what we've been conditioned. We've been taught and conditioned that we need to be competitive with each other. I make reference all the time to the Willie Lynch letters. People talk about that book all the time. Some believe that it's written by a Black man. It doesn't matter who wrote it. What's in it has shown itself to be real. The competition is to put man against woman, woman against man, light skin against dark skin against light skin. In every aspect is to find a reason why you are not my equal, why you are my enemy on every level.
That's deep.
It is. We're conditioned, though. We're conditioned. And because we're not consciously knowing that there is a conditioning, we're fighting to protect that. We're fighting to protect an agenda designed to keep us apart. We'll fight to death. And it's obvious. We'll fight to the death to stay apart. Wow. That sounds crazy.
It does. But it's real.
It's very real. I'll do everything I can to make sure that we are not together. What? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that make sense?
Yep.
It doesn't make sense. And it's like, we don't see that there is something, there is an illness, there is a mass illness in our minds as a collective. There's an illness that is allowing us to think the way that we think, to move the way that we move, to feel the way that we feel. We're sick. There's a sickness here. And in order for us to heal from the sickness, we have to recognize that there is one first, acknowledging there is a problem here. But where did it come from? What is the problem? Where did it come from? How do we get rid of it? Recognize what the symptoms are. What are the side effects? All of those things. What do they look like in alternative forms? It's so many things that we're missing because we're not communicating. We don't know how to communicate because we are taught to compete. We're emotionally involved. We're listening for a reason to blame. You know, it's so much. We have to get to a point of repairing ourselves. That is the reparation. Repair the nation, period.
That's deep. Oh my gosh, that's so deep.
It is. Another is that there's generational trauma, and I talked about this. If you do not heal from previous trauma, be it your immediate previous relationship or one your mama had and passed it on down
Ooh, girl,
is going to continue.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What is it is mentioned about the sins of the father, and then I don't want to go off into a biblical conversation, but there's one where it speaks about things being passed down from generation to generation to the third and fourth generation. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
being passed down because it's not being handled. We're not healing from it.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't think about it. It's like, well, my mother went through such and such, but I don't got nothing to do with me. Oh, but it does. It definitely does, because there's an energy in it. There's a karmic cycle. When a cycle begins, it has to get to a point of an end, which means something needs to stop it. If it never gets stopped, it continues. The only way to stop it is to find a point where you recognize, let me shut that down, shut it off, fix that. That means you're going to have to do something different than what you've been doing, than what your mother was doing, than what your grandmother was doing, than what your great grandmother was doing. We're used to our family being in relationships for 99,000 years, and what happens in the home stays in the home. It does stay in the home. It
Ooh.
stays in the home for generations, though. This
Wow.
is the problem. It's not just in great grandmama house and now she passed away and is gone. No, because there was a lesson taught to that next generation. They learned that. Now they're teaching it to the next generation. Now they're teaching it to the next generation. It's continued. It's a generational trauma being passed down. We
Almost like
have
a curse. Mm-hmm.
we have to stop it. We have to acknowledge it. It is happening. A lot of times we'll experience things and don't know where they came from. We'll have a thought or a feeling and we don't know why we feel that way. All of a sudden you might just get ticked off, or you might just, start bawling and nobody's around you. Nothing happened in the immediate, but you're still experiencing that karmic cycle is still happening. You
Mm-hmm.
don't know what's going on. You don't know why it's going on, but it's going on. You have no answer. Somebody asks you what's going on, what's wrong with you. I don't know. You don't.
Mm.
You don't know. But it's time to start figuring some things out, asking some questions, digging some roots. One of the greatest things with having older adults in your family, your grandparents, your parents, is that if they're still around, you have an opportunity to learn from them,
Uh-huh.
find out something, ask some questions, dig
Mm.
up their history. What's going on with my folks? What's going on with you? What happened in your relationship? What was your mother going through? We
Right.
don't ask questions. All we
Right.
want to know is, Grandma, how you make those biscuits? Who cares?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So we have plenty opportunity to do so, but we're not taking advantage of it. Our history resource is dwindling. Our our histories are dying. They're getting older. They're dying. They're being killed off, if you will. They're dying. It's being made so that we won't have any way of going back and tracing what's true. We
Mm.
got to now can go off of what we're being told is true. We have to accept what's being told is true because we have no way of proving what's true because our history is dying.
Deep.
It's very deep. So it goes beyond just the well, he did something to me today, or she did something to me today, or the past relationship I was in, they was a trip, they was a mess, they was cheating. It goes beyond that. It's deeper than that, and we're not at a point of um, being honest with ourselves about the trauma that we experience. And I talk about trauma a lot with men because when they get traumatized, they hold it.
Mm.
Men do not heal from their trauma.
Wow.
They sweep it under the rug. They put it so far back in their conscious. It's super suppressed. They will never speak about it. They won't get help. And I'm just saying generally, because there are some that will, but generally speaking, they don't heal. They learn to deal with.
Wow.
It's like having a migraine headache for 20 years. And for 20 years, you keep taking pills. The pills will make you not feel it, but the pills don't get rid of the cause of the migraine.
Mm.
They just keep taking the pills, cover it up, get numb. They become numb to it. Outwardly, they become numb to it. Internally, it's still brewing, whether they have acknowledged it or not, whether it's in the conscious or not, it's still there. A lot of men have experienced, certain types of trauma, and then as children or whatever, and then they carry that on into their adult relationships. And as far as they're concerned, it's normal. This is what I do. Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If something happened to you, whatever it is, if something happened to you that was a traumatic experience, whether you cried about it at that time or not, doesn't matter. Whether you were mad about it at that time or not, it was something that you were not expecting, something that changed your world, is trauma. If
Mm.
if they do not acknowledge that this thing happened and they were a victim of it, they'll never heal. But they're not allowed per society to be victims.
Mm.
Society says men can't be victims.
Wow.
Men are always the aggressor. No matter what, they can't be raped. What do you mean? They can't be abused. They can't be beaten. What do you mean they can't? Yes, they can. And they are on a regular basis, which is sad. They are on a regular basis, but they bring this trauma into relationships and try to deal with it as normal. That's their way of accepting it, but it's not. It's not healthy, but they're going to process it just good enough so they can get by. While they're doing that, it's affecting and infecting their relationship. So
Oh.
now you have an infestation of things, of trauma going on, that's being transferred into the woman that you're with. Energy is everything. Now she's now carrying your trauma. She got some of your trauma, your traumatic energy, along with her own traumatic energy.
Mm.
That's going to be passed down because it's not recognized.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is going to cause a problem in the relationships. This is going to cause a war in the relationships because there is a battle. There's a battle between he and himself. There's a battle between her and herself. There's a battle between him and her. There's a battle between them and them. You know what I'm saying? The representatives are battling because they don't want either one of you to recognize that they're there.
Wow.
It's a lot happening. This war that goes on between us goes on because we're not recognizing how it's starting. We're not recognizing the little nuances, the little elements that create it. It's like you have a stick, you have a matchbook, you have paper. Those elements make something. All together, they make something. It causes something. But if you don't pay attention to those things, all of those things individually, and see what they could possibly do if they're put together, before you know it, there's going to be a fire.
Ooh.
All of the elements were out. All of the elements were present, but we're missing them. We're walking over them. We think that they have no value. They're a non-factor. They're a non-factor until they're a factor.
Yeah. Right. Wow. Wow.
It's there. So
That's
there are a
deep.
lot of things.
Oh my gosh.
Were there any questions at this point?
Oh gosh, yes, there
Okay.
was a question. Let me go back here. Um, Okay, here's one from Carla. She says, why most men have short patience in their relationship? That's a good question.
They're not taught to be patient. There is, again, when you start dealing with things that are subconscious and taught historically, they were taught to be brutes. The brute is the hit it and quit it. So let's deal with in slavery, right? When you read about the slave men and women, a lot of them were made to just be baby makers. They were made to be brutes, to go in, get a woman pregnant, get out, no attachment whatsoever. That's it. There's still that mindset, be it conscious or not. They're not, a lot of them are not trying to be patient, don't know anything about being patient for what? And then being patient is also a part of being vulnerable. Vulnerability to a lot of men means that they're open to being exposed or being made weak.
Oh,
it's not going to happen. How they process that, anything that they process as a threat to their manhood, you can forget it. So patience to them is, oh, you got me over here waiting. That's weak. I'm a man. I ain't got to wait. It's a whole bunch of fish. You know what I'm saying? It'll be like that. It's like an ego. It's a masculine ego. It's also a matter of protection. A lot of these things that they go through or how they portray is a way to defend and protect their emotional state. Because, like I said, society does not allow them, society does not give the man permission to have feelings, to be vulnerable, to cry, to ask for help, to say something is wrong. Society doesn't accept that. It's not okay for man to not be okay. So when he's with a woman who thinks the same way as society thinks, what is he going to do? Society says, I can't be vulnerable. My woman says, I can't be vulnerable. He's either going to not be with that particular woman, not be with that particular race of woman, or not be with a woman.
Oh.
It goes that deep. Because and this goes on both sides. People are looking for somebody to be their equal, to be their comforter, to be their provider, to be their support, to be their shoulder, to be their friend, whatever. We're looking for that. So if there's any element that is missing, nature's going to say, go find it. It's not here, go find it. So I say, to women, it's important. I like to say, my theme song is I'm Every Woman.
Yes.
That's the theme song.
Yes, that's the jam.
Okay. I would suggest that if you're in a relationship with a man, whatever your relationship is, try to be for him, to him, what you need him to be for you as well. You're looking for stability. He needs that too. You're looking for somebody that's going to be loyal and respectful. He needs that too. Whatever it is that you want, you must first be. Whatever it is you're trying to get, you have to be able to receive it. Vice versa. What you want to receive, you got to give it. We can't look at men as if, well, you a man, take it. You ought to be good because you're a man, or this is an expectation of you because you're a man. I'm a human first. How about that?
Oh,
man. We skip that part.
Human.
That has an effect on our relationships. That is another element of war. That is a weapon. That becomes a weapon of war now. It's so easy for us to fight. It's so easy. the field is loaded with weaponry.
Ooh.
All this space and opportunity is loaded with weaponry. All we got to do is look at it, pay attention to what it is, how it can be used, but not look at each other as I need to use it on you. Because the real problem is not that there's all of these weapons here that I can use on you. It's the fact that something and somebody put them there for us to even consider using them on each other.
Ooh, that's deep.
This is why we're not each other's enemy. This is why we are not at war with one another, but the system, the people, whatever makes it so that we are all we see. Throw the rock, hide the hand, greatest trick ever pulled, all of that. Greatest trick ever pulled. you know what it is, the greatest trick ever pulled.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that's happening in our relationship. All I see is you, so it's got to be you.
Yep. And it's a breakdown of the African American family.
Yeah.
The two at war, now they wanted to, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
That is so deep.
Here's another strength with us. Go ahead.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. This is from a millennial. She says, in my dating experience, most men do not like sharing their feelings. How do you get them to open up more? I was going to ask the same question. You know, some guys might be going through something with their baby mamas or a previous marriage or whatever, and then they get with you and you're like, okay, express. But like you said, they've been traumatized previously and now they're with you. And how do you get them to open up? How do you get them to have emotion? Or
so here's the thing, is that to get them to open is not really how that works.
Oh, okay.
It's more of allowing them to feel comfortable enough to open. They have to trust you with what they're feeling. They have to know that what they're feeling, once it comes out of their mouth, that is not going to be used against them. That's why most men don't speak, because they don't want their feelings to be used against them as a weapon, because they're saying, I'm exposed now. I've given you everything that could hurt me. I'm wide open. So if I give you everything that could hurt me and you use it against me to hurt me, I will never open again.
Ooh, that's deep.
I'll never do it. So you have to allow him an opportunity, or the opportunity, to trust you, to be vulnerable with you. He has to be okay with being vulnerable with himself. He has to be okay with, saying, I'm hurting right now. I need to cry right now. Whatever it is, he has to be able to honestly accept his trauma and go through his healing process, acknowledge what has happened. He has to do those things for himself. You cannot make him do it. There's nothing in particular that you can do to, quote unquote, get him to do it, but just be there when he's ready to do it.
Oh, okay. That's what Travis is testing to. He's saying that's true. Wow. That's deep.
There's so much to us. You know what I'm saying? There's so much to us that we don't know because we're taught everything against it. What we truly know about one another, we know it. We know it. We internally feel it. It's innate. It's natural, what we know. But we have been taught now to accept something else. So now there's another war. That's the war. Because it's like, if the woman is going to, and I'm going to say, the woman is conditioned to go to massa, right? Whatever goes wrong, you go to massa. Massa got you. What you need, I got you. As long as you come back home to master, I got you, right? The man is taught the same thing. What you need? Okay, I got you. Whatever you need, I got you. Whatever you need, as long as you come back home to me, I got you. Here's the problem. While we're battling each other, Massa said, do this to you. Massa said, do this to you. It's the
Oh,
same master, though.
ooh,
It's the same master.
wow.
So instead, while you're looking at me as your enemy and I'm looking at you as my enemy,
Mm-hmm.
we got the same information. We're doing the same thing to each other. How can we be each other's enemies? We didn't come up with this. Where'd
Right.
you get your advice from? Oh, well, Master told me. Word? Master told me the same thing.
Oh,
There's your war.
mm-hmm. Deep.
We're not winning because we're looking at the wrong element as the cause of the war.
Mm-hmm.
This is the problem. And then in any war, you're looking at each other as the enemy. Naturally, you're looking at each other as the enemy. The thing, though, one of the things about war is that the the system, the being, whatever that says you're going to war, we need you to fight, doesn't really tell you what you're fighting.
Mm.
We just need you to go do it. And because now we have this loyalty to Master, because Master said, I got you, just come back home on both ends. We're not asking no questions. We just going to fight.
Mm.
We never realize that this is a war we're not going to win ever. It's not designed for us to win. It's designed for us to do the Master's will, period.
Mm-hmm.
The system, and I wrote this earlier on Facebook. I said the system works best when it doesn't have to work.
Oh.
The system works best when it doesn't have to work.
Mm.
So all the parts that are in the system are going to do the work for the system. The system is going to sit back and just run.
Mm.
There's,
Wow.
there's some major issues here. Major.
Wow. Instead of the two looking at one another saying, you know what, let's come together
Right.
and get through this and accomplish these goals versus fighting each other.
Absolutely. Because we're told again that you're in competition, you're
Mm-hmm.
better than them. They want something from you. They're going to hurt you. I'm the only one you can trust. Because that's in our minds, that's in our system.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to come to the table and say, baby, let's talk about something. What's going on with you? I need to know. I want to know. What have you been experiencing? Let's talk about that. And let me show you what I've been experiencing. Let's compare notes. Let's compare what we've both been through, what we've both experienced, and how we both feel, what we've both been doing, whatever, and see what we can come up with. Because if we do that, we will find the answer. We'll have the answer. There will be no more war between us because then we will be unified as one, and then we'll be strong enough to actually fight the war against us toward the real enemy.
Oh, boom.
Boom.
Wow. Wow.
That part.
That part. Absolutely. And you know, you said it earlier, you get so caught up. I'm not speaking me personally, I'm just saying
Mhm.
people get so caught up in emotion that they're so dead set on, you know, you did this and you did that versus, well, like you said, let's talk about it. What's the
Right.
real issue here?
Right.
Oh my
Absolutely.
God. I've seen so many
Absolutely.
relationships break apart over just something just as simple as talk. Just talk.
Exactly. Exactly. But it's like, we'll hold on to our anger. Um, a man will hold on to his feelings or whatever. So that's more ammunition that we're building up against each other. So if you think about it, when a man does something to a woman, if he does something, even if he does something physical, let's just say that he might slap her. It might not be any like, not saying that that's not a good thing, but if he slaps her, or if he cheats on her, he'll do something, and she may forgive him. for the moment. She'll be good for the moment. Let next week come though. She didn't forget it. He's going to do something small. He may disagree with her. She's going to bring that up, right? But she's going to bring it up with so much more ammunition. She's going back 15 years ago when you did this. All of this stuff is coming up now at one time. She's going to cut you down with every word in her vocabulary because that's her weapon. She knows she can cut your throat with a simple word. She can cut you down emotionally and spiritually by saying one word about you. Fighting. We're fighting. I'm going to use everything that you ever did. I'm going to hold on to it. I'm going to hold it. You just wait. I'm going to blow up on you. You just wait. Why? When all you have to do is express it. But we want to hold it. We're building. We're packing ammunition. We had a whole storage house with ammunition from 15 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, you hear a man say, why are you talking about that? I mean, that happened when? They done forgot. Why are you still talking about that? We don't forget. But we will use it as ammunition.
Waiting for the right time, right?
Exactly. And that's not fair. So that too is a weapon of war. Mm-hmm. Why do that? Have the conversation, have communication, get an understanding, overstanding, and an understanding of what is actually happening with and to each other. And individually, we have to fix these things before it becomes a bigger problem. We're at a time right now where things are, and we're not even paying attention. We're at a time right now where things have leveled off, where there's an even playing field. There's an even playing field. We have the opportunity to really do something. When COVID hit and people were at home, why are we not having conversations? Why are we not figuring this out? Why are we not bonding? Why are we not praying with each other? We home all day. Why are we not supporting one another? Why are we not covering each other? Why are we not doing this? Why are we finding a way to pick at why you get the last piece of chicken? Why your son got on 2 pairs of socks? You know, silly stuff.
Right. Well, I want to watch that program.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. Turn the radio off. Turn the television off. Turn all that stuff. Disconnect from the internet. Sit on the couch and communicate. I don't even have a television. If anybody come over here, we talking.
Oh, period. No, that's right.
There is nothing. No television anywhere.
Television.
Okay. Anywhere. It's not. We're going to talk about something.
Mm-hmm. That's smart. Yeah.
Absolutely. Indeed. The last thing I'm gonna say, the last reason why we're having so many problems with our relationship while we're at war is because we have not defined what love is for ourselves. We've been shown it on television. We've been shown it on media. We've been told it. We've been, it's been read to us in novels, all kind of stuff. But none of those things, none of those actors look like us. None of those situations relate to us. But this is what love is, according to ABC or, you know, whatever. That don't have nothing to do with my household. Like I can't relate to that. But you tell me that's what love is. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to accept it because I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I've never heard it. I've never felt it. I don't know what it's supposed to do. This is why you have communication, because if you've never seen it, you've never heard it, you've never felt it, you don't know what it's supposed to do. Now you can create it.
Yeah. Yes.
Together. This is what my love looks like. This is what my love feels like. This is what my love comes with. This is what it means to me. Can we work with this? Sure. This is what I'm coming with. Bringing it to the table. Bring it to the table. Bring your love to the table. What does this bring? The elements to create, to build love. Bring it to the table. Do that.
Communicate. Build it. Because if he doesn't know or she doesn't know what you need, and you get mad, you can't get mad because you didn't tell her, or, you know, vice versa.
Right. We do not read minds. And men really don't. They don't read minds at all. We have a thing called intuition, and it works. But men, they don't read minds. If you don't tell them what it is that's going on with you, they're gonna assume you okay. You could be ticked off from here to Timbuktu. You could be ticked that whole ride. And if he asks you what's wrong and you tell him nothing, guess what he heard?
Nothing.
Ain't nothing wrong with her. All right, then. He ain't gonna keep asking.
He gonna be like, that's it. Yep.
That's it. But now she's gonna hold on to that. She's gonna hold it for another extension of Timbuktu when it come back around and throw it back in his face. Well, see, why you didn't help me out when I was mad? But you told me you was all right. You couldn't tell I was. Stop that.
And you know, it's another good one is I have a girlfriend. I'm not going to say any names, but I have a girlfriend. You know, she's on social media a lot, and so you know, she sees these posts of husbands bringing roses and doing all this on, you know, their wives' birthdays, or putting a big beautiful post up, or, you know, these different posts, and then she looks at her husband like, why you don't do none of that for me? Well, did you tell him those were the things that you wanted?
Right. But still, that's another problem too. Keep your relationships off of social media, and don't look to social media to run your relationships.
Ooh, girl. I knew one couple, they was posted up every week, every day, in love, kissy poo poo. And one day, I think I called one of them. It was a guy, it was my friend. I called him I can't remember what it was. And he said, oh, we're divorced. I said, but just a week ago.
Exactly.
And you know what he said? It's Facebook.
Absolutely.
Like,
absolutely. If you are in a relationship, get it off of Facebook, get it off of Twitter and whatever, TikTok, whatever it is, it should not be there. It should not be there. I would even say if you are in a relationship, you shouldn't even have an account. Get it off of there. Like, don't even do it. If it's not business, or if you can't go into each other's, don't do it. That is a playing ground. It's an open ground for all kind of everything to just infiltrate. It's wide open.
Yes.
It's meant for that. That is another weapon in the war between us, because we're looking outside of us to fix us. We're doing too much comparison of what I got to what I'm looking at on social media. Well, what I got don't look like that. Well, what you had was always that before that even came to be.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Now you're comparing me to something that wasn't always there in the first place. And what I am, you're no longer happy with. We need to have a discussion. But I'm not going to change to be something that's on television or social media because that's what you think I'm supposed to be. You knew what I was or who I was before that came out. You know me. You know who I am. It's not that I've changed. You have changed. I'm the same me. I'm still the same person that I was 15, 20 years ago when you said I do. This is what I came with. Now social media is out. Now you want me to be that? I'm no, not doing that. If that's what you want me to be, you need to get that.
Ooh.
that. Yeah, we're doing too much.
Yes.
We're doing too much. We're causing an unnecessary war to continue.
That's so true. You know, my husband and I, we was talking about this, and he just said, "No, your mate, trust me." Yes, yes, indeed. We was talking about something. I can't remember what it was, but we had just saw something on social media, and then this person was with this person. It was all lovey-dovey on social media, and then we saw them at an event, and it was like, "Whoa, you here with her?" But I thought you was in love with this one over here, and it's like. Right. You're right. You're right. It's a hot mess. So social media in itself is just a whole monster, a whole nother.
It really is. It really is. Because it's like you're being social with people you don't know, but you can't have a conversation with the person that you're sleeping with.
Oh.
So everybody knows your business except the one you said I do to. You got a contract with this one person, but everybody else is a part of it.
Right. That's deep. That's deep.
It's never going to work. There are no winners
anyway. Yeah, people are messy anyway. They may see that you have heard you're happy, and they want to be messy.
Exactly.
Problems. Oh my gosh. Do you guys have any questions for Kimberly? I mean, the comment section is just going on. It's so much
Okay.
in here. Let's see. Carla just said, true, you have to really look at the person character for who they are, even if the truth hurts, be equally yoked much as possible. Yes, that is so true. You
Yep.
got to have the same mind frame. I believe.
Yep.
Definitely. Kimberly, girl, you be breaking it down. You
I'm
breaking it
trying to help
down.
my folks. I'm just trying to help us. That's all.
And if you don't mind me saying so, you guys, Kimberly is one of the new sponsors, and she has a product that, for those of you that are in good relationships, you can use that product to bring the fire back in and all that good
Absolutely.
stuff. I'll let you talk on that, of course.
Okay. Yeah, so it is called, I have a bottle. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Yes, yes.
Sloppy Kisses. It is an oral massage oil, so it's for mature uh, couples. Um, it's a very sexy and delicious way to experience one another. It will just intensify your whole experience, which was the point. Is
Lots
to
of different
intensify.
flavors, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have many flavors. So many. I'm trying to stay out the lab because every time I go in there, I'm creating something else. So it's like just cut it out. But yeah, stay out of there.
Look,
Yeah.
Carlos, like put my order together.
Okay. Call me, girl. But absolutely, yeah, I have many flavors. So one of the top ones is the peach mango. That's been like a number one so far. It was apple pie, but a lot of people now are loving the peach mango. So
okay. I love it. Entrepreneurship, you go, girl. She's
yes,
into
ma'am.
repairing relationships and helping. I love it. I love it. We need
Indeed.
more of you in our community because it's so quick for people to get upset or have an issue in their marriage or relationship, and then you got the
Right.
guy or the girl saying you should leave him, you should leave her.
Right.
Need more Kimberly.
Exactly.
Wait, whoa, time out. What's really going on here?
Exactly. Exactly. You shouldn't leave. You should figure it out. And if it comes to your mind so quickly that you should leave, then you probably should not have shown up. If
Ooh,
you're looking for a way out, you should have never come in.
boom.
Figure it out. Let's work together. It's like we are so quick to dismiss one another and then bad talk each other. We are creating what society sees us as. We're creating it. Work together. Learn to heal thyself individually. And then we have to heal collectively as a people. We have to stop running away from every little thing that looks like a problem. I've heard this years ago that who a person is in truth is exposed when there's adversity.
Oh, that's deep. You know what? That is so true. Oh my God.
Yeah. So if you're
Ooh.
with somebody that as soon as something comes up and they're looking for a way out, that tell you something about them.
Yeah.
There's going to be a commitment issue, period, because they're not trying to figure it out. They're not trying to work. They just want to get in, hit it, quit it, whatever, and be out. So adversity defines the true character of a person.
That is so true. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Well, I
Ma'am.
can say God has blessed me because we've had some adversities and my husband's been a solid rock.
That's
But
what's
I've also have girlfriends who've hit adversity, health issues, you name it, and
right.
he was gone. Like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's
That
true. That's
that
true.
I hate to hear that. I really do. I always offer my services, to people for relationship counseling and even marriage counseling, pre-marriage counseling, and the marriage party counseling.
Oh,
Yeah, we forget about them. And just
okay.
real quick, when you have a marriage party, those people are witnesses. So again, with that contract, you got two people that entered into the contract, and you have all these other people who witnessed the contract. So when the witnesses say, well, yeah, go ahead, because they want to look good in their suits and their dresses, and they know doggone well these two people ain't got no business being together, they are also responsible for the downfall of that union.
Oh,
You witnessed and said they're good. You witnessed and said you spoke in front of the judge, in front of the master, in front of the most high, and said, yeah, they good. And you knew better. You
wow.
knew they should have been doing this. You said it was okay. You're a witness to this contract. You are partially responsible for this.
Mm.
We have to stop taking that so lightly.
Yes, you're so right. Well, we got to have you come back and do a part two
Yes,
on that
ma'am.
topic. That.
Anytime. Anytime.
Well, you guys, she's here on the first and third Fridays of the month. She's the official relationship counselor. I'm so excited for her to be a part of the team.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
as we move forward to the streaming, I'm so excited. But
Yes.
girl, deep, 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 deep. Make sure you go back and look at the comments because it's just so much being said. I can't even, you know.
Okay. I definitely will.
Oh my gosh. Well, I appreciate you as always,
I
Kimberly. And I'm so
appreciate you
excited to
as
have you as
well.
a sponsor on the show as well. And
Yes,
girl, I
ma'am.
will see you on the wood. She's my skate sister. So I will
Yes,
see you real
ma'am.
hopefully soon.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. I appreciate you as well. And I wish you the best moving
Oh,
forward.
well, thank you, girl.
You
Thank
are
you.
so very welcome.
I'll be in touch. See
Okay,
you.
hon. All
Okay.
right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, you guys, she is amazing. I love having her on. Don't she be preaching the truth? You guys, oh my goodness, she be all in. I tell you. Okay, you guys, so we ran over, but it was well worth it. It was well worth it, right? Trying to get these shows down to 30 minutes is really hard. It's so hard because there'd be some really good guests on here. So as we close out the show, I want to leave you guys with a positive nugget. With all that Kimberly said is definitely true. One thing to keep in mind is when you're having a downtime, or whatever you may be going through that may not be positive but negative, just uplift yourself and empower your mind and your drive. Surround yourself with positive people and things. In the words of my girls, my favorite R&B artist, which is Mary J. Blige and Beyonce, of course. Mary J. Blige has a new record out called Hello Gorgeous, called Gorgeous. And basically she says, quote, I wake up every morning and tell myself, good morning, gorgeous. Sometimes you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, good morning, gorgeous. And by that, she means not so much by the way you look, but by the way you feel. Tell yourself you are gorgeous inside and you too are worthy. And then, of course, you guys know Beyonce's new album is out. It is fire. And her record is called Break My Soul. And she says simply, quote, you won't break my soul. I'm telling everybody. If your kids is working, your nerves, your job, whomever, tell them you're not going to break my soul, and you stay positive and keep pushing no matter what. So as I tell you guys every week, do one good thing for one person each day and you can affect 365 lives. You guys, please be safe out here. We got a whole nother virus out here. Lord Jesus, be safe out here. Wash your hands continuously. And all I can say is just be safe. If no one's told you that they love you, know that I love you. I appreciate you tuning in, and I will see you next time. And with those parting words, I'm out.